Welcome to the Profits in Pajamas podcast. I'm Danielle D, or Coach Danni D, and I help women to create luxury brands by creating processes and tightening their branding. This is where we talk about how to build your business in a way that allows you to work with ease and enjoy your life. My happy space is spending as much time as humanly possible in my pajamas. And I want to help others to find their happy space while still running profitable businesses. So get comfortable and let's dig in. Hello, and welcome to the Profits in Pajamas podcast. I am your host, Coach Danni D. I am here helping women, creative women, professional women to leave that grind culture and find their life of fulfillment and joy. So, I want to help you uncover whatever your success story looks like. And then I want you to be able to take the steps to live that out. And again, this is your success story. So you will be successful in the process. So a lot of times people think slowing down or being more mindful of their time and their energy is going to result in less success, is going to result in them not being as prosperous as they were prior to doing so. So we're here to kind of rethink that. Today, I want to talk to you about, and this just came about from a few experiences this week, but I'm just going to focus on one. And today's topic is you must be present to win. So this past week, I went to a conference out of state, and then I came back and went to a retreat that was local, but a bit of a distance from where I'm located. So, I had gone to the conference and, of course, had a great time. I was there with a bunch of people that I know and love. So, of course, didn't get much sleep. And when I came back, I had this retreat that I had signed up for and was really excited about attending. But I was just like, oh my God, I'm tired. It's a distance away. Am I up for this, or do I want to just, like just rest? And, I'm the queen of rest. So I went back and forth with it, but I really am connected to one of the people involved in putting it together, and her mission is around mental health and rest, and she will be actually appearing on our August episode. She's going to be our guest for August, so you'll hear more about that in mental rest. But what I want to say about that is, so I decided to go because I just felt like in my spirit I needed to be there. I needed to be in that room. So while I was there, when I checked in, there was one of those little raffle ticket things where they give you a raffle ticket because they're going to do door prizes, right? And when people do door prizes, typically they say as they give you that ticket, must be present to win. You got to be there, right? So your ticket might come up, but if you already left, then oh well. And that actually literally happened. Somebody left their ticket on the table and their ticket was a winner and they weren't there. The reason why picked this as a topic and it's been resonating with me since was, again, it was easy for me to come up with a reason not to go. And I want to be clear because, I teach calendar detox and I teach all these other things about not feeling guilty about needing to take a break, not feeling guilty about um, sometimes not attending something. So I'm not saying this to make anyone feel guilty or pressured to go and do a thing that is outside of your capacity or outside of your best interest in that moment. So Let's put that caveat on it. I'm not saying that. You have to really make internal assessments about whether or not you feel called to be there versus you feel obligated to be there because someone asked you, um, and whether or not it's going to be in your best interest to rest. Because sometimes we have to turn down engagements or invitations because we need that rest. So please understand, I'm not trying to push you back into that feeling of obligation. But I am calling you to be open to the experience. Be open to, you know, where you are, what's going on around you, and be open to that win because that win is not going to necessarily be a door prize. I did win a door prize though, but that win is not going to necessarily be a door prize. That win may be you choosing to be in the space that you need to be in and receiving what you are meant to receive. So for me, in that instance, one of the ladies, presentation made me think about something in a totally different way, helped me to release something I needed to release, helped me to step into something I needed to step into, right? So that was a win for attending that event that I really felt like, you know what, you need to be there. You need to experience this experience. Another win was um a connection that was made or that was solidified at the event that led to a future opportunity. So again, you need to pay attention to whether or not you're shying away from an event or an opportunity or a conversation or, whatever it may be. Are you shying away because of fear of the unknown? Are you just, are you backing all the way up when you need to be pushing all the way forward? Are you being open and receptive to the journey that may be ahead of you? Because, we can have a tendency to do certain things. And, I know I've talked about in past episodes the idea of, we talked about in cheat codes, we talked about how you need to learn yourself, right? And this is one of those things that you need to learn about yourself. You need to learn, is this that I feel like I gotta go because somebody's gonna feel some sort of way because I didn't go? Or is this that I feel that I need to be in this space? And that's something that you have to learn about yourself. Another thing that you need to learn about yourself is, we can find creative ways to procrastinate. So this didn't have anything to do with this experience, but in a different experience, someone made a suggestion to me and it took me a little while before I acted on it. I know when I said a little while, I meant a little while because I'm in a different space than I used to be because an older version of me would have just kind of let it linger and marinated on it, and then it'd have been too late, when I took the opportunity, right? Or this particular instance that I'm thinking about, and I'm just keeping it under wraps for now, y'all. So I'm sorry if I'm talking a little elusively, but that's okay. But this particular situation that I'm thinking about, um, what I had in mind when I reached out was not an option anymore, right? And I could have took that as a sign and said, "Oh well, that's not an option, so I'm off the hook," right? But there were alternative options, and so I said, "Okay, well, let me look at these alternative options and see which one is the best fit." So I want you to make sure that you're showing up where you need to show up. because there are wins that are out there, but you got to show up to win. So I need you to start showing up. And I need you to start showing up also without attitude. Do you know what I'm saying? Because we go into spaces and sometimes we go into spaces and we're not open. And when you're not open, you're not going to be able to receive. So look at it as your next, adventure opportunity, however you need to look at it. But, you know, again, learn the difference because I don't want you filling up your calendar with all the things just because you might win when you get there. Everything is not for you. And sometimes it just wasn't that moment. Um, Sometimes that rest was the thing on the agenda for a particular day. That's absolutely fine. But I want you to start being more discerning and figuring out where that line is. Because if you're always, it should not be one extreme or the other. You should not be always saying yes, and you also should not always be saying no. So if you're finding yourself in a position where you're saying yes to every thing that's put in front of you, every meeting, event, baby shower, wedding, if you're saying yes to everything that's put in front of you, then you probably need to take a step back and figure out what's in alignment and be more discerning. If you're saying no to everything that is coming in front of you, then you probably need to take a seat and figure out what's that resistance. What are you scared of? What are you scared is going to happen if you say yes? Are you scared of being open? Are you scared of being vulnerable? Are you scared of what you may be called upon to do? Because it typically does, fall back to fear. And I know that I've been scared of being vulnerable and I've been scared of being open. But I also know that being more vulnerable, being more open has one been so freeing for me as a person, but it has also helped others to feel more comfortable, to be more open and to be more vulnerable. Because the thing that I know is that we are more alike than we are different. We feel often very alone because the most important things are the things that we don't talk about. Sometimes we feel shame because of the things that we don't allow ourselves to be vulnerable and human about. So we feel shame because of a thing, and we let that shame grow until it becomes something that it doesn't need to be because there's somebody that's sitting right next to you every day that's experiencing the exact same thing that you are. Or there's a solution out there to the thing that you're struggling with, but you're not getting it because you're not opening yourself up to even ask for it. And you're building that frustration within yourself. So I want you to sit and I want you to really think about, am I comfortable being vulnerable? And if you're not comfortable being vulnerable, I want you to start to work on that. And that's not an easy overnight thing, especially if that's not your comfort. It's not an easy overnight thing, but it's the most rewarding thing. Again, one, it's freeing. Two, it helps others. But three, vulnerable and openness are they're siblings. They might even be twins. Um, when you have when you are open, you're in a position to receive. So sometimes, just like they say, you must be present to win. Sometimes you're in the room and you're still not present. Sometimes you're in the room, but you're still not present because you refuse to be open. You refuse to be vulnerable. So let's take baby steps. Let's try to be a little more open. Maybe, reach out to someone close to you, trusted. And I'm gonna emphasize trusted because everybody is not able to receive your vulnerability, right? And sometimes if you are vulnerable with the wrong person, it will push you back instead of pushing you forward. So let's, try in a safe space. Let's identify what our safe spaces are and try in a safe space to be a little more open, to be a little more vulnerable. And if somebody trusts you as their safe space, let's be kind and let's be gentle. And we talk about this a little more in the upcoming episode about mental rest. But in that episode, we talk about do no harm. So if you know you're not the person that can handle that person's vulnerability, wish them well, but don't don't put judgment on it because we're not here to be judgy. We're here to be of assistance. We're here to be of support in people being able to open up. So let's be present. Let's be present in the spaces that we need to be present in. And I feel like we all can look inside ourselves and say where those spaces are. If you're not sure, reach out. Reach out. You can always schedule a free discovery call. We can talk about it. I know that doesn't sound like something worthy of talking about on a call to some people, but it really actually is because maybe you need to work through where is it that I need to be showing up? Where is it that I am not fully showing up? Where is it that I am, unconsciously shrinking back because I have that fear of stepping out in a big way? So, where is that? So that we can figure it out and so that we can get you to show up, so that you can continue to win, so that you can be present when your number is called. Because everybody has a space where their number is the next one that's coming out of the bucket, the shoebox, or whatever it is that they, throw all of those little tickets in. Everybody has that space. Every single one of you has a space where your number is ready to be called, but you gotta be present. You gotta be there. You gotta be in the space to be able to win. So let's get in those spaces. Let's figure out what those spaces look like. Let's, let's I'm trying to think because the word that wants to come out is a local slang and y'all not gonna know what I mean. Let's pump ourselves up. How about that? That's the right way to say that. Let's pump ourselves up. Let's hype ourselves up. Let's get ourselves excited about being in the spaces that we belong in and stepping into the lane that was designed for us and getting that win, having our ticket pulled because we were there and able to claim the prize. So that's what I have for you guys this week. I want you to, show up somewhere this week that you really need to be. Show up. I want you to really show up in a space that you need to be in and show up confidently because you belong there. You were sent there. Your ticket was called. And sometimes, You will, get that door prize when you're sitting right there in that room. Sometimes that door prize will come next week and somebody, gives you a phone call and says, "Yeah, you were at this event and I really wanted to catch up with you about this." Sometimes it may be down the line, but it was because you were there in that moment, in your fullness. And in your fullness, you won the prize. All right, guys. See you next week. Thank you for listening to the Prophets in Pajamas podcast. I hope you got some great tips to start working with ease. Want to stay connected? Follow me at Your Workflow on Instagram. For more information about building your luxury brand, register for my upcoming luxury brand workshop at CoachDanniD.com.